My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. I'm going to give you my favorite UnderDog Fantasy entry for UFC Vegas 89. If you don't know what UnderDog Fantasy is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you say higher or lower than the numbers you see on the screen, and you can 20 times your money. You could even grab one of these little chili peppers and expand that even further to 100 times your money. It's super easy. It's a ton of fun, and they will give you free money to play. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog, use promo code WWP, and they will instantly match your deposit. If you give them $20, they'll give you $20. If you give them $100, they will give you $100 instantly that you can use to build an entry and immediately withdraw that money. There's no weird rollovers, no commitments. Here's your free money. Go use it. And if you win, all of that money is yours to do with what you want. WeWantPicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP. I'm going to focus on UFC Vegas 89. But if you see here across the left, all these fancy little colors, this is every single sport. We're right in the almost in the middle of the thralls of March Madness, so you can get some college basketball plays in here, as well as other sports throughout the year. You can mix and match, lots and lots of flexibility. We're going to focus on UFC, and it's a little tricky. A couple of these lines are tricky, but I do think I found some solid spots. We're going to avoid the main event. This could be a 5-round back and forth sloppy type fight, meaning sloppy as in fun, and both of them are having moments of success. It could be a finish. Rose Namajunas could win by finish. We know she can finish. We know Amanda Ribas has been finished. Or the other way around, Amanda Ribas comes forward, all gas, no brakes. She could come in here and finish Rose. Too many variables, so I'm going to leave that alone. So both of those fighters are out of the equation. Justin Tafa, I do like this here, but instead of doing anything with Justin, we're going to go with Carl. If we expand and we see he has 2.5 takedowns, we're going to go the lower. The way I see this is going to go a couple of different ways. Carl Williams is either not going to be able to take down Justin Tafa, which I think is the case, or he will be able to take him down. And if he does take him down, I don't see him getting back up. I don't think Carl Williams is going to get 3 takedowns. If he gets a takedown, it's probably it. Similar to what Marcin Tybura just did to Tai Tuivasa. Maybe he'll get 2. But I don't think he's going to get any at all. And like I said, if he does get a takedown, I think that's just going to be it on the ground. I think Justin Tafa off his back is going to be a mess. He's not going to be very mobile, not going to have much to do. So we're going to go the lower on 2.5 takedowns. The way they got to that number is they looked at Carl's previous fights. They've seen that he does work in a bunch of takedowns, but they didn't factor in the other side of that fight. They didn't factor in that Tafa's got tree trunk legs, that he's hard to take down, and that if he is taken down, he's probably not going to have much to offer. So I do like the lower than 2.5 takedowns there. As we work our way down, I don't love the Shabazian and Dobson fight. That probably goes to a decision, but there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong there. A lot of things that could happen for either fighter. They're both good strikers. They both have some decent power. Cameron Saman, Peyton Talbot, 2 wild young prospects that are a ton of fun. Cameron just lost. He might be a busted prospect, or he just hit a little bump in the road and he's still phenomenal. Peyton Talbot hasn't lost yet, can do all the things. Like, this will be a very fun, exciting fight, but it's a hard fight to just stamp down a position on who's going to land more strikes, who's going to get more takedowns, who's going to win by finish. I don't love any of that, so we're going to leave that alone. What I do like is the higher than 73.5 significant strikes for Billy Quarantillo. This guy is a high volume striker, and he's very durable. I think he comes forward, literally lands 80 to 100 strikes, and probably wins a decision. His opponent likes to dance around on the outside, not throw a ton of volume, and that actually helps us here because I think Billy will have even more opportunities to land a bunch of strikes. Obviously, the wrestling could be a bit of concern, but I don't think it's going to matter much. Billy Quarantillo was already on this card. His opponent is stepping up on 2 weeks short notice. His opponent's already a low-volume guy, and Billy Quarantillo is already a high-volume guy. If you go through his fight history, he has cruised well past this number many, many times before. So I do think he lands more than 73.5 significant strikes. The rest of these lines are tricky, and we're not getting a ton, right? They're not giving us takedown lines on Trey Ogden, finish lines on Trey Ogden, and those may come later. But if you wait for all of those lines to drop, then you might miss some of the other lines. For example, Carl Williams' takedown line might drop down to 1. So I don't like anything else here as far as the strikes are concerned. But if we head over to Rivals on the left-hand side of the screen here, what Rivals does is it takes the two fighters who are fighting each other and it asks you who's going to land more of X. The very first fight here, we have Igor Severino, and he's taking on Lima. And they're saying who's going to land more strikes in this fight. And they know that Lima probably does, so they're going to give Igor 7.5 to start. When we look at Rivals, I like to see really close fights that they, for some reason, juiced one of the fighters. And if we work our way down, we are going to get that with the heavyweights. Except I'm going the opposite direction here, meaning we got Mick Parkin taking on Mohammed Usman. I think this is just a sloppy fight. Neither one of these guys are very busy. Neither one of them are very active. Mick will work in some takedowns. But Mick is the better striker, the more accurate striker. And they're giving Mohammed Usman 6.5 strikes. I think Mick covers that. So I picked Mick Parkin here. I think Mick covers the 6.5 strikes, and we don't need him to win. We just need him to land 7 more significant strikes than Mohammed Usman does. And if you go through both of their fight histories, that's the story that we get. Mohammed Usman has landed fewer strikes than his opponents in 2 of his 3 wins. In his 3rd win, it was still razor. He landed fewer strikes, but he would have covered the 7 here. And then Mick Parkin, in his wins, is landing more strikes. He's the busier guy. He lands at a higher volume on average. And if he works in some takedowns, that's only going to help his number here. So I like Mick Parkin in Rivals to cover the significant strike point spread here. If we throw $20 at this, we will get a $120 payout if all 3 of these hit. If we want to be a little safer, $20, we will 3 times our money and take us to $60. But if only 2 of them hit, we get all of our money back. This is my entry for UFC Vegas 89. If you like this entry, great. You can tail it. There is a link below. You can use that link. You can grab this exact same entry. If you don't like this entry, you can build your own. Just go get your free money so that if you do win, you have all of this extra money that they gave you that you can keep, you can withdraw, or you can let ride and withdraw your real money. Tons of options, lots of flexibility, and they will give you free money to play. Just go to wewantpicks.com/underdog. Use promo code WW